It is so weird, so strange, so bizarre that nowadays, this is your first look at Disneyland? We're back at Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom, experiencing his original vision finally come to fruition, the backside of Star Wars. No, I'm just fooling around with you, my friends. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome back to the happiest place on Earth. Oh, you hear that bell? The train is coming into the station, and we're finally home. Look at that beautiful floral Mickey getting his fun pics with everybody. I'm very happy to be back at Disneyland, although I'm a little bit annoyed that I wasn't here a lot earlier today. I was supposed to be here hours ago, but it's the holidays, which is the hardest time of the year for me. So much family stuff going on, so much friend stuff going on, so much filming stuff going on, so many events going on. But apparently, it's worn me out a little because this morning I simply just did not wake up. You ever have one of those? I just didn't wake up in the morning at all. Oh my gosh, there was Snow White. And look at this, it's Belle. Right inside the freaking train tunnel. Or bridge, whatever you want to call it. That is crazy. We're seeing Disney princesses all over the place. Anyway, I figured some Disneyland is better than none Disneyland. So why not come into the park when I can? Look at this. They finally cleaned up the mess. From the candlelight processional, the train station is looking back to normal, nice and fit and trim again. Anyway, when I finally did get up, I was like, oh no, I screwed everything up, the whole plan. Anyway, I figured that some Disneyland was better than none at all. So why not come down to the park and see what kind of trouble I can get into in the few remaining hours I have left. Actually, I don't mind telling you guys because you are my closest friends that I am working on a little Disney history project I thought I would make some progress on today. Alas, that would have definitely been an all-day job, so I screwed it up. Anyway, we're here now, and that's all that matters. A little bonus Disneyland at Christmas time. I guess I probably have to get myself a little coffee or something. I've got to wake up, soak in as much of that holiday magic as I can. All right, for most people, when you think coffee in Disneyland, they go straight towards the Starbucks on Main Street. Not me. I know this is gonna sound crazy to some of you, but I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. Like all the fancy sugary drinks, yeah, sure, those are good, but just the plain regular coffee, I find it to be a little bit lacking. So whenever I need coffee, I usually cruise over here near this little theater. I'd get myself a cup of joe from crazy old Maurice. This is the spot. As you can see, Maurice's Treats does in fact have tons of treats over here, including their most popular treat, the Boysen Apple Freeze. I'm going the opposite way of freeze, though. I'm getting myself some coffee. Whew. I don't want to give you the impression that it's the greatest coffee on earth or anything like that. It's just a plain, regular sort of cup of coffee. But I'm one of those ignoramuses. Like if I walk into a fancy coffee shop and I say, oh yes, I'd like just like a regular cup of coffee, and they go, what kind? I honestly don't know what to answer. I'm one of those Americans that goes to Denny's or a truck stop or the hotel lobby. It's like, I like coffee. What kind? Not decaf, you know? Ooh, oh my gosh, that is hot coffee. Anyway, hopefully this will wake me up. I'm gonna level with you guys. I find this time of year a challenge a little bit. It's the time of year where I have the least amount of money, the least amount of time. There's sort of tons of events to be at, and then you have friends that are like, oh, we have Christmas parties and this and that, and then, you know, you're trying to get Christmas presents, like, who can I get Christmas presents for? What's the budget like? And all that kind of stuff. And then I always get stressed out, and I feel like I'm defective or something because everybody else around me is always like, it's the holidays. They seem like they have more energy than any other time of year. Everybody seems happier than at any other time. Like they've got more free time than any other time of the year. And I get excited by the holidays. Like I want to run around and have fun like everybody else, but I always feel like a half-inflated tire just kind of flopping all over the street. It's not a constant feeling. I don't hate the holidays or anything, but I always feel overstimulated, a little overwhelmed. And I'm always wondering why nobody else seems to feel that way. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You and me both, brother.
Want some coffee, Nagenda? Anyway, does anybody else feel like that, or is it just me? I think I'm weak or something. Then you add to that this unusual weather for Southern California. Notice how gray and kind of gloomy it is. Should be golden hour right now, like sunset time, I think. I have no way of telling. It's that low light of winter that so many other places experience, but if you live in Southern California, you are not used to this. There's been all kinds of wind lately, which is sort of humbucked some of the Christmas light videos we were going to film and all this stuff. There were Christmas decorations blowing down the street yesterday as I was driving around. I don't know, maybe I'm in a funk or something like that, but it just feels I'm having a strange holiday. But it's nice to come here to Disneyland, though. Even though, yeah, it's a little gray outside, because I think I have the whole seasonal affective disorder, too, or something. Something about those short days gets me a little down, but then I can offset them with a beautiful tropical paradise. I don't know why, there's just something about the jungle that always cheers me up. Look at that over there. The Zambezi Miss cruising into port. All right, cruising into Frontierland now. And as I walk around Disneyland, I don't know if you guys do this, I'm always stopping to take a look at stuff like this, right? All the props and the little decorations that add life and character to the scenery out here. You got stirrups and saddles and these little crates. You got barrels, coils of rope, and old lanterns. Just things like this, like inside of an old log fort on the frontier. What would you put? You'd have to hunt for meat, so of course you'd chuck the antlers up on the wall, do a little antler decorating Gaston style. Look at these red lanterns over here. Why are they all red? For sale. Red lanterns, now half off at the Pioneer Mercantile. But especially over here inside the gates of the log fort, right over here next to the Paymaster booth. There used to be a, what's it called? A payphone in there. Now it's an ATM machine. How about that? They have ATM. When did they invent the ATM machine? I forgot. I could Google it. 1967. So old Walt Disney never had a chance to use the ATM machine. Man, before ATM machines, how the heck did you come from Kansas and get cash out of your bank to buy tickets and souvenirs and popcorn for the kids? I guess you had to bring a bunch of cash with you or hope that they would accept your check. I'm actually kind of tripping out right now. I never thought to look up when they invented the ATM machine. My mom is older than the ATM machine. Oh, the beautiful soothing sounds of gunfire at Christmas. For 50 cents, you can empty the gun. It's fun for the whole family. I wonder if old Tom Hubbard's ghost ever gets tired of people shooting at his tombstone. I know I've been bombarding you with a lot of videos lately. That is because Random Land Adventures has returned. The whole philosophy behind that show was sort of combining the unedited vlogs I used to do back in the day, the sometimes vlog with sort of your normal Random Land show, a little bit more produced. When I set out to film an episode of Random Land, I usually know what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be talking about. When it's a Random Land adventure, well, you could basically look at that little logo up in the corner of the default picture and you'll know I woke up without having any clue what I was going to do that day. The philosophy behind it was that, hey, every day can be an adventure if you let it. And so like the other day, I was in Newport Beach looking at things I had never seen before. First time in my life I've ever seen dolphins jumping around in the ocean on Southern California. Just like today, I kind of started the day late. I had to do a bunch of errands, pick some stuff up down there, and I was like, let's just see what happens. I love this sign hidden over here next to Big Thunder, where that train takes that last little curve or comes out of the little maintenance bay back there to the right in that livery stable. Welcome to Rainbow Ridge, the biggest little boom town in the West. Pun very much intended. Population is only 38. That's wild. Rainbow Ridge, of course, is the name, or the original name, of the little town over here from which the mine train through Nature's Wonderland used to leave. Now it's part of Big Thunder. What's left of the little town of Rainbow Ridge definitely changed a lot over the years. Back in the day, it was the hub of everything. You had mine train through Nature's Wonderland, little mine train ride where Big Thunder is now, Conestoga wagons, stagecoaches, the mule pack ride, so you'll ride around on the back of a live mule over here. The town extended down a lot further, so it really felt like the Mark Twain and Columbia Dock were part of the old Rainbow Ridge, and there were gunfights out in Rainbow Ridge, the wanted posters and things assembled on the other side of the street where the Golden Horseshoe is. All of this just felt like an extension of Rainbow Ridge. I don't think anybody walking around here now thinks of Frontierland being Rainbow Ridge. Maybe you might think of the little section, the little miniature town above Big Thunder, above the line for Big Thunder over there. But I would hazard a guess that to most modern audiences, most modern guests, it's simply just Frontierland. It's just that western town. I don't actually know. I mean, the lid's plastic. I have no... What is this even made out of? All right, well, I hope I did the right thing there. Hey, look at that. It's Mirabelle from Encanto. Ooh, stressful as the holidays can be, and kind of as sad, like, because sometimes I start thinking about old family members who are long gone now. I start thinking about my grandparents and things like... I don't know why, dude. The holidays are stressful enough as it is, and then my brain starts to add all this sad nostalgicness to it. But I like sort of chill Disneyland days like this. I mean, I'm a little annoyed that I slept in and didn't get to accomplish my main mission, my main plans. It feels kind of nice wandering around with no specific object in mind. I'm not trying to get on any rides. I keep bumping into people that I know, but I'm not trying to run into anyone. I'm not trying to meet up with anyone for at least this few hours. I got to be in LA tonight to do exactly that, meet up with a bunch of people. Every once in a while, though, it's kind of nice to wander around and just see what's going on. Like, look at this. I heard this was happening. I totally forgot it's happening now in December. Big Thunder's actually closed. No wonder the trains weren't going by while we were standing back there, temporarily halted. These ducks look happy, though. They're gonna have the run of this place. Oh, look at this! The perfect fun pick! Hey, it's kind of nice to have access to that fun pick spot, because usually people are coming out of the exit, and this is where they stand for the DAS, for the return time, for guests with disabilities and things like that. Usually it's a little busy and crowded near this fun pick sign. Well, thanks to Big Thunder being closed. Look at this. Even Big Thunder Trail. It's all quiet and peaceful. Wow, look at this. We can get a great shot of the old abandoned mine. I love how it says abandoned mine. This is the old train tunnel for Mine Train through Nature's Wonderland. It's so weird. Whenever Big Thunder isn't working and you walk over, you're like, why is it so quiet? Because normally every couple seconds, the train kind of whooshes by right here. That's like the famous money shot. Everybody gets their picture taken right there. And when the mountain is off, the waterfalls are off too. So no screaming, no blasting, no waterfalls. Ooh, kind of creepy. A little bit more abandoned mine train through Nature's Wonder. This is one of my favorite spots in the park because they've actually left this more or less alone. There used to be a beautiful trestle bridge coming out of there, crossing this whole... I will talk about this in more detail in the future because I've got some great footage of what used to be here. This was the original bear country at Disneyland. There were bears down here and jumping mechanical fish, which don't seem to be on at the moment, although some have survived. And not only did the mine train used to come through that tunnel, everybody talks about that quite often, but over the top of it was a bridge. Remember those mules I was talking about? The mule pack. They used to go right over the top of the train. So if you were here at the right time, you would have seen the yellow mine train coming out of there onto the trestle bridge. You would have seen mules and stuff crossing over there. Stagecoaches were around. Used to be a lot busier in Frontierland, that's for sure. Dude, it's so quiet. It's so quiet and peaceful. Weird. Actually, when they redid Big Thunder Trail back here, got rid of the Big Thunder Barbecue and put in Star Wars Land, they added something that I like to think is a tribute to the old mule pack, in a way, because mules, after all, are half donkey, half horse, right? Am I getting that right? It was actually a little before Star Wars Land opened, but when they redid the Rivers of America to make room, right over here, beyond this gate, this is the path. This is the old mule pack slash stagecoach slash all those other vehicles that used to cruise around path. See? Look at that. It's actually paved. When you look underneath it, I wonder if any of the old hard packed gravel is there and dirt from old 1950s Disneyland. And way up on the hill there, staring out at the Mark Twain and the Rivers of America, is this horse. Right where the live pack animals used to roam. Is that a tribute? I don't know. But it's kind of cool. Kind of works out to be a tribute. It's a little Frontierland, Rivers of America secret. And that tunnel is just, it's like right there. So that's literally that. Look at that. You could drive a truck over that. You could drive an F-150 over that tunnel. Star Wars Land, I don't have any time for Star Wars Land, but being back here on Big Thunder Trail does remind me of the other day I was here with my friend Adam the Woo on Walt Disney's birthday, and as we were riding the Lily Bell around, that's that special sort of VIP train car on the Disneyland Railroad, I spotted some shenanigans, some Christmas shenanigans going on very near to the Toontown station that obviously I was going to hop out of the Lily Bell to go and see, but I never did follow up on them that day. Might as well cruise through Fantasyland and check them out now. First though, look at this. Look how they've widened this to have this sort of popcorn and Barbie Papa slash cotton candy cart over here. Kind of gets in the way because one of my favorite things is standing back here along this fence. And when the mountain's on, I don't know about now, there are usually sounds of guys mining in that tunnel back there. Then, of course, there's one of the engines, old number 11, from the Disney movie Hot Lead, Cold Feet. if you've ever seen that one. Kind of a rare one. I don't know if I'll ever film anything about this, so this might be a spoiler alert, it might be not, but I just received like the coolest present ever from a friend of mine. Apparently Disney, during the 100th anniversary thing that they were doing all over the world, and I had absolutely no idea they were going to do this. Apparently they released a 100th anniversary Disney box set of like all the classic Disney animated films, 100 films, starting all the way back with Snow White, Fantasia, Dumbo, all those type of movies, no Song of the South of course, all the way up to whatever's right before Wish. So like some of the Pixar movies are in there. I think to pad out the numbers, there's like Peter Pan 2 and some of the weird sequels were in there. Brother Bear, all these movies that I don't think I would have ever bought. I think I've seen every Disney animated movie and most of the live actions up until Walt died in 1966. But there's tons in this box set I've never seen before. Problem is, sort of my obsessive collector nature is now bothered, right? Like when I didn't own nearly all of the Disney films, this wasn't a big deal. But now that I own most of the animated films, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna have to complete the collection. I'm gonna have to get all those weird animated sequels, you know, Cinderella 3 and all that kind of stuff. Make sure I got Return of Jafar. But then even worse, I realized there's no box set of all the Disney live action movies. And those are a lot harder to get. Because in my head, I'm including stuff like Mr. Boogedy, Blackbeard's Ghost, Dr. Sin, not just Treasure Island and those movies, but you know, all of them. So Parent Trap, all the crazy films. And I mean, who knows how many television specials there were and one-offs for the wonderful world of Disney. Like, is there anyone out there on planet Earth? Is it even physically possible to have all of the Disney films, including television films made for TV movies, on DVD? Certainly not possible to have all the TV shows. Think about the Mickey Mouse Club and Spin and Mart, all these crazy TV shows they did. I remember they used to release so many random like VHS tapes and DVDs of like old Mickey Mouse cartoons and Donald Duck cartoons. I've never seen like one definitive collection of every old Mickey Mouse cartoon, etc., etc. See, and I never would have thought of this if I didn't have the box set now of quote-unquote all of the Disney animated movies from the last 100 years. That's how I know that the very generous buddy that sent me that as a present was also sending it to me as a prank, because he knew it would make me start thinking about all the films I can't get. Although, a friend of mine did just recently send me an old weird, I don't know if it's a beta tape, it's definitely not VHS, it's some other format of tape. Was there another one besides just beta and VHS? Anyway, an old tape copy of Song of the South that I have no idea how to watch. But I've got it in the collection, so that's covered. All right, anyways, forgot what I was talking about because I just ran into a cast member, a friend of mine. But over here, by It's a Small World, just off to the left, was the Fantasyland Theater. And from the train the other day, like I was saying, I noticed something I had not noticed before. Look at this. What the heck is this? I've been to Disneyland multiple times during the Christmas season already. I have walked into and out of Toontown multiple times. And somehow I just did not look over here and notice that the whole Fantasyland theater area has been turned into holiday fun with Santa and friends. Everything's all lit up and looks beautiful, so hopefully we didn't miss all the action. Hopefully we didn't miss Santa Claus. Dude, check this out. The Troubadour Tavern is open, selling Christmas treats, and then look at all the Christmas merch. Just hanging out outside in this little Christmas merch booth. They got, what are those, light up wands? And this is my favorite thing. Of all the Christmas merch this year, these little Mickey plushes are so cute. I want one. I have no idea what to do with it. I don't know if we have any room in our Christmas tubs. And look at that sweater right there. They have hats with the same design embroidered on it. But look at little embroidery Santa. There's something about it that's just like, yeah. They're good at what they do, man, because they make me want to grab merch I do not need and probably wouldn't want if I wasn't standing here staring at, oh my gosh, poinsettia. Look at this. Okay, see, cool. I was just going to say, if you go and watch my videos from back like 10 years ago on this channel and on my old channel, Live Fast, Die Poor channel, you'll see they had every season all kinds of holiday events over at the Big Thunder Ranch. There was a big theater back behind the Big Thunder Barbecue, and they would do these holiday-themed craft areas. So they would do one for Easter, they would do one for Christmas. They would always have this meet and greet with Santa in the log cabin over in the Big Thunder Ranch. And I was just saying to myself the other day, self, I says to me, self, Where in the world do they do a meet and greet with Santa? Do they only have Santa during the parade now? I mean, over in DCA, they have a whole meet and greet with Santa in the sort of Redwood area over there. But it dawned on me that I haven't seen Santa Claus in Disneyland for years, not since Big Thunder Ranch, other than in the parade. I thought, that's a crying shame. Maybe it's just me not paying attention. That's a normal thing. That's the ADHD. Whoa! Look at this! Okay, it's not just static stuff. Got people coming out on stage. They've got little microphones on. They're chatting with the crowd. Some kind of Christmas show about to go down? Normally, I'm much more aware of what's going on down at Disneyland, like current event-wise, but this last year I've really been like just focused on Disneyland's past. I've been going through old footage and stuff, so I haven't been paying attention to Disneyland at the present at all this year. This is where Santa Claus comes out. He's gonna be coming out in a few minutes. He's taking a little cookie break. And look at this! Live Christmas music. Uh-oh, Goofy had a little accident out here. Let's see if we can get a little closer. That is so cool, dude. Look at this. They've got some rare-ish characters out here. Look, it's Clarabelle the cow in her Christmas getup. She's all dressed up and ready to go dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, maybe that'll be Horace the horse's open sleigh. Cast members in their holiday finery cruising through, dancing to the music. And then look at this. Get some little ice walls. There was a child that popped up and just scared me right now. And then look! C'est Tic and Tac! It's Chip and Dale, known as Tic and Tac in French. So when French people see Tic and Tac at Disneyland Paris, they go, C'est Tic and Tac! And then look at this! It's the big man! The big cheese! The head honcho, Kris Kringle himself. Look at Santa Claus handing out candy canes and meeting and greeting all the guests. You know, something looks a little different about Santa Claus. He's really slimmed down. Old Saint Nick is in fighting condition. And then look at these Christmas trees behind him. Sort of like tune-shaped trees. These are cool. I should throw a couple of these in my front yard. I love this. I love stuff like this. That's the thing I miss about the old Big Thunder Ranch and the Big Thunder Barbecue. Not just that restaurant, not just Billy Hill and the Hillbillies. It was those cute little holiday festivities that they would throw out there. And the little Santa's Village and the little fall festivals and Easter festivals. They were so fun, so I'm glad to see that stuff is finally coming back after COVID. I really haven't seen much of this since COVID, although I wasn't exactly looking for it either. Oh, hey, speaking of the Lily Bell, look there's the Lily Bell right there, the VIP train car attached to the back of the train. It's one of those things that you always go, it's Walt's private train car. It wasn't Walt's private train car. It was decorated by his wife, Lillian, and named after his little backyard train that he named after his wife. So the Lily Bell. Its first guest was Hirohito in the 70s. So yeah, Adam the Woo and I and Liz from Fresh Baked and some other people, we were riding on this the other day, and as we pulled into Toontown, I almost called it Fantasyland Station, Toontown Station the other day, right here I noticed this. I saw all that decor there, and I saw Pinocchio out here in a Christmas outfit. Okay, to be fair, it looked mostly just like his regular lederhosen with a few Christmas frills. And if I had just been on the regular train, I would have hopped off so quick and gone, what the heck is Pinocchio doing over here by the stroller parking? But since we were on the Lily Bell, and you only get one complete ride around the park, and it's kind of rare and difficult to get on this thing now. For a while it was Club 33 only, and then they found that unmanageable. They have to have a cast member in there with you at all times, so it's just rare and hard for them to pull off, especially when they're understaffed, again, after the pandemic. So usually you have to have a VIP tour. You see them walking around in their little plaid uniforms. If you have a VIP tour, you can request the Lily Bell. I think if you're Club 33, you can request the Lily Bell. And then to our very great surprise and our very happy surprise, we just asked the other day. Adam was just like, hey, can we go in the Lily Bell? They just happened to have one extra cast member on hand, so we took a cruise around the park on that thing. So anyway, I couldn't jump out and see what the heck was going on. Looks like I've missed Pinocchio for the moment, but that's okay. Look at this. They do still have a little Christmas craft area. Looks like it's getting closed up for the night. You could come out here and do some coloring with this. I have no idea what character that is or what it's from. But look at these little coloring pages right there with Mickey and Minnie. They're having a and the very many Christmases. I thought I was going to say very merry. The very many Christmases. A little Disney Junior action. And then there's Santa's mailbox. So you can write a letter to Santa, stick it in the mailbox, and look, this friendly cast member's emptying it. She's gonna take it down to old Kris Kringle right down there. So, you think he was on a lunch break? Actually, he was probably backstage reading all those letters, putting them on his big Christmas list, thinking, why'd you wait till the last second to write me a letter? Come on, kids. Actually, Santa's little photo pass helper down there asked me if I wanted to get in line to see Santa and talk to Santa. I said, he knows what I want. Santa already knows. And he never gives me what I want anyways. A winning lottery ticket, am I right? Yeah, I've seen Bruce Almighty. I know why I can't have one. Doesn't mean I don't still want one. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
All right, well, we were too late to catch Pinocchio. We were too late to color over there in the little craft area. Boy, I love to color. You know, when I was a kid, the only way I ever used to go to Knott's Berry Farm, like the actual theme park, was I was like, older than 8, 9, 10, that age range, possibly a little older, although I admit to nothing. I used to go to Ralph's across the street from my house in Anaheim, and they would have these coloring contests, and you'd get the little pages. And of course, you know, I was a little older than most of the kids filming. I would color them all carefully, turn them in. I won that coloring contest like 4 or 5 times, and the grand prize was always like 2 tickets to Knott's Berry Farm. Back then, I think those tickets were probably like worth 20 bucks each or something like that. That's how I went to Knott's Berry Farm all the time. Anyway, we weren't in time for the coloring, but it looks like we are just in time to see It's a Small World holiday. Just freshly lit up. Ooh, and I was gonna say we might be just in time to see the train cross in front of it, but doesn't look like we're gonna get to the front of it at the moment. The parade is coming, and everybody is all smooshed up over here. What is going on? You think like President Nixon's gonna make an appearance or something. Oh well. You can still catch it from this side angle over here. There it goes. The Disneyland Railroad. The merriest train in the small world right now. Oh, I just realized Small World must have been shut down for a minute or something. They must just be reopening it, so people are actually lined up to line back up and get on Small World holiday. Have not done that yet this year. Man, I'm way behind the ball this year. Dude, I was out trying to film some Christmas lights last night, but no matter how impressive the neighborhood, nothing beats It's a Small World holiday for Christmas lights in Southern California, at least in this neighborhood. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's the jam right there. We are surrounded now. 360 degrees by holiday light insanity. I'm starting to feel the Christmas magic. This always reminds me of Christmas, not because they're just Christmas lights, because they remind me of light brights. Something about seeing It's a Small World with like the little lights all over it. I mean, maybe I'm aging myself there. You guys remember Light Bright? Light bright, light bright, turn on the magic of colored lights. Something like that. It just looks like they stuck a bunch of light brights all over It's a Small World. And I always associate Light Bright with Christmas time. I don't think I ever got one for Christmas, but I think my neighbors got one for Christmas. They would do it, they'd play with it. No one would ever touch it again, and the next year, another kid would get one for Christmas, so I feel like I only touched light brights around Christmas time. Ooh, speaking of Christmas, you guys see that video I did the other day about the Matterhorn and the sacred Christmas star that has gone missing from its top, making it perhaps the largest Christmas tree on Earth, if you follow the marketing strategy, or the rumored marketing strategy. I really think it might have been much more of an Anaheim publicity stunt, and then it turned into one of those old like Disneyland fan facts, like something old annual pass holders like, you know, Disneyland used to have the largest Christmas tree on Earth. Oh really? What was it? It was the Matterhorn with the star on top. Anyway, after I did that video and showed you the old footage of what it looked like spinning around up there, every time I've been back or even driven by and seen the Matterhorn, I'm just like, dang, it would be so cool if they brought that back. I know it'd probably be expensive. We'll never get that from the Disney bean counters we got at the moment. But it would be so awesome. Look at this. There go the teacups flashing in the dark. Speaking of Christmas, I gotta look for the greatest Christmas present of them all, which I'm about to have shortly. That word was very much intentional. That's a clue for you. Because of course the greatest present in my life is the presence of Allie, who is of course very diminutive in stature, very short in other words, and she should be here shortly. It's one of the only things I know of that's more beautiful than the Disneyland castle all lit up at night, before Christmas. I love that they still actually put Christmas lights on this bad boy. You know how in Walt Disney World they stopped hanging them up, they just do the projections. At Disneyland Paris, they just do Christmas projections on the castle, which is still cool. Very beautiful. Something about seeing regular Christmas lights all over. Give you a nice sense of scale and size. And yes, for you Florida people, our castle is smaller than yours. Okay. But it was also Walt's castle, and that has to count for something. Speaking of which, over the years, I've heard this many, many times. This is one of those ones that leaked onto the internet in the early days and hasn't really gone away. There's this rumor about our castle and the reason it's so small here compared to Florida or Paris or now Hong Kong or Shanghai. What they'll say is Walt built the castle small on purpose because he didn't want to frighten children. Guys, it was an orange grove. There was nothing to compare it to. The trees were tiny. The castle did look huge back then. He built it that size on purpose because there wasn't a bigger one at that time. And to a child, that thing is huge, even today. And as my friend put it the other day, what small child has ever walked up to a big castle like at Disney World and just started screaming, "Ah, it's huge, it's too huge!" If anything, it was probably the budget. They were having so many budget troubles when they were building the original Disneyland, and then seeing the trees grow up around it that made them, by 71 when they opened Disney World, go, we need to go bigger, a little bolder. But yes, fine. I admit it, our castle is smaller. Are you happy? Are you happy, everybody else from every other park? Our castle's small. Southern California's castle is small. That's why so many people in Southern California drive Hummers around. Maybe that's kind of a dated joke. What's the new Hummer? Cybertrucks! Cybertrucks! Anyway, as you can see, the sun has now set. Back there, behind and beyond the Old West, behind beautiful Christmas Frontierland. Now I'm just waiting for Allie to show up for our dinner date. So we're almost done here. Dude, look at the size of that crowd lined up for the Christmas parade already. Holy moly. The Lord's birthday. It's a big deal around here. Luckily we have a little time still until the parade actually starts. Main Street USA is still open to walk down. This, of course, is where we meet and greet everyone. Smile and wave, everyone. Merry Christmas. Welcome to Anaheim, everyone. Welcome. Gosh, is there anything better than Main Street USA at Christmas at night, all lit up gloriously. Announcements in Espanol going on over the loudspeakers. It's beautiful. Only Main Street more beautiful than Walt's original, perhaps, is the one at Disneyland Paris. We were just out there enjoying that little Main Street and the side streets. You know, I've been a musician, a wood carver, dabbled in painting, obviously filmmaking, and all kinds of other things. It always made me feel better that Walt would walk around Disneyland and just be like, like, look, this could have been bigger and better if I'd only had the budget and the time. We could have built a bigger castle. We could have done a more elaborate Main Street. We could have finally built Liberty Street. All these different ideas that he never got to bring to fruition. It makes me feel better that Walt had that sort of, I always call it the George Lucas syndrome, because famously George Lucas would film a Star Wars. He'd finish, like the original Star Wars movies, just be so unsatisfied. Dang it. It could have been even better. That's why he kept tinkering with it, right? He kept adding stuff to it, doing special editions, and messing with it. I try not to go that far, but I feel the same way about everything I do. I'm like, man, if I just had a little more money and a little more time, that could have been so much better. Every year, every season of videos, I stop and go, man, if there was just a bigger budget, just a little more time. It's the artist's curse. Not that I'm as brilliant of an artist as Walt Disney or George Lucas, but you get the idea. If the big guys have imposter syndrome, maybe it's not so weird that I've got it too. Oh, look at this. There it is, Walt Disney's apartment up over the firehouse, and at Christmas, instead of the lamp, right in the center window, they've got Walt's little Christmas tree. And so, as I wrap up this very random adventure, and thanks for joining me, by the way, because it makes it worth it hanging out with you guys. I'm gonna go head over and do what I always do when I'm leaving the park, camera on or no, and say, good night, Walt, and thank you. Ooh, and here's a little Disneyland holiday secret for you involving the firehouse. The famous Disney lore and legend is that they would light up the lamp in the front of the firehouse whenever Walt happened to be in the park, so the cast members would know. I don't know if that's exactly true, or if it was just the fact that, you know, when Walt's lights on, it's like, hey, the boss is sleeping in the park. Stay on your toes. So, of course, you know, after he passed away, that's what Disney did as a tribute. They'd always leave that lamp lit in the window as a reminder to all the cast members. They teach you this in training and everything, and to all the guests who know the lore. But the spirit of Walt is still up there, still keeping an eye on the place, Of course, there's much less emphasis on Walt and what he wanted these days, but still, it's a nice tradition. And then during the holidays, the lamp goes away and they replace it with that little Christmas tree. But what no one ever talks about is the lamp doesn't actually go away. The regular lamp is still up there in Walt's apartment and still lit. It's just moved over here to a side window, so there you go. There's Walt's ghost lamp. He gets his ghost lamp and a Christmas tree. Ooh la la, what a fun one. Listen, what Walt wants, Walt gets.
Maybe that's why we're getting a robot Walt over there with Mr. Lincoln soon.
Oh, I love the firehouse, the downstairs. Nobody's ever coming downstairs into the firehouse. It's such a nice little quiet escape. The old horse-drawn fire wagon in here. Let's set off the alarm. See if the firemen come running, huh? See if the firemen come running. Okay, of course, now Allie will be coming in for us to eat dinner at the worst possible time. She's gonna have to fight the whole parade crowd, so I'm gonna be taking my great loop, meaning going out of this tunnel over here, and then in the one-way street all the way up to Tomorrowland. Ankles will be stepped on, feet will be run over by scooters. As usual, it's gonna be a fun one. But my friends, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do it alone. I'm starting to get so hungry and so overstimulated, I feel like I'm on a vision quest now. I'm about to hallucinate any second out here. I won't put you through that. My brain is weird enough without the hallucinations. But my friends, this is where we end our journey together. It's been a fun one, and I want to tell you, I truly love and appreciate you guys hanging out with me virtually on the internet all these 12 long years of Random Land. But for tonight, we've done our duty. Give me the Christmas present of checking out those links down below, doing the subscribe thing, the sharing the video with your friends if you liked it. If you didn't like it, maybe share a different one. We've done what? It was loose. I thought that was about to pop off there.
We've done our duty. You can go home and sleep well.
See you next time. Holy Sith, what a hat! What the heck, Han Solo's freaking chess set? Dejaric. Sorry, it's Dejaric. I need this too. Look at that. And this. I need me one of those. Let's see. Oh, Paul Rubens, you will never be forgotten.